I'm Steve Deboer, president of Deboer Farms Incorporated, here at Firth, Nebraska, which is near Lincoln in the eastern part of Nebraska. Currently, we're growing corn, soybeans, and alfalfa. Pretty much everything gets sprayed a couple times a year. We have rather tight soils, and we do have ditches when we get big rains. You know, and that always presents a problem spraying when you can't see where the ditches are sometimes. But we had a tractor mounted sprayer. Originally we had booms on the back with saddle tanks, and then we had a pull type sprayer. Probably the last thing I had before the Apache was I had a tractor with a front and rear tank and booms on that we sprayed with, and that worked pretty good until we started trying to do more acres and wanted something designated just to spray with. We had looked at a variety of different sprayers at that time, and I liked the appearance of the Apache. I liked the simplicity of it. One of the ones we had looked at was a spray coupe. That one didn't appeal to me. It just doesn't look like it's built very well, and the small tank, you know, and to me it didn't look like it was built to be able to handle the conditions that I needed to run in. And you know, I think from the start the Apache looked like like I said, it was a simple, well-designed machine, and it looked. And price was a factor as well. I don't really remember what some of the other machines cost at those times, but it looked to me more like a well-built machine for the price that when we originally started. I think we saw magazine ads at that point. The internet wasn't quite as prominent then. We did drive over to Iowa and look at a couple of machines, but I don't think there were any very close in this part of the state at all when we purchased ours. So I think we were one of the first ones in the area. But we liked what we saw when we did, and we went, like I said, into Iowa, and they were spraying on some hill ground, and it looked like it was something we were interested in. Partially we were spraying more acres at that time, wanted the bigger tank, and then the bigger booms. I think the last time when we traded to the 850 was when they went to the bigger front tires, just for handling some of the situations that we get into out in the fields with the ditches and terraces. Help the ride and help just stability of the machine going through the field. When we would have a really good day in the past, we would be able to possibly get a couple hundred acres sprayed, and you were shot at the end of the day. It just a lot of work. You seemed like you were constant. For one, you weren't going as slow, covering the acres as fast, but it just seemed like it would wear on your body to try and do that. Now we probably, on a good day, we can get 450 to 500 acres done. You're still tired, but not to the same degree that you were with a pull-type machine, and it just seemed like this is a lot more stable machine to be running and responsive than that. Most of our farms are relatively close, so we usually run back to the farm to reload. And obviously ground speed makes a big difference if you're running 15 to 16 miles an hour coming back, or if you're running 25 miles an hour to come back. That certainly plays into what you get done in a day. Efficiency-wise of reloading, you know, that's good. It doesn't take long at all to reload and be gone again. That was, I guess, maybe another improvement over the 780 to the 850 machine, the larger tank. I'm sure that had a 750-gallon tank. A lot of the fields that we spray are different farms that we have are based on an 80-acre field, and the 850-gallon tank didn't make any difference. If I had a 750-gallon tank, I was always running out with a couple acres left. The 850-gallon tank worked out really nice for me, and same thing with one refill. You can spray a quarter section, and we really don't have any fields, you know, for the most part that are larger than a quarter section, and so the size of the tank, for me, this works out real well. You know, that the only concern I would have over a larger tank than that would be weight out in the field and under certain conditions, and And the more weight you have on the machine, the more stress you're going to put on everything, and the more you're going to, tracks you're going to cut and things like that. So again, for me, for my the 850-gallon tank works out really well. When we went to the bigger machine, we had some really extreme wet conditions that we tried the machine out in, and we loaded it up and went through the field, and we cut tracks probably 1.5 feet deep, but we never stopped moving. It would continue to go. I know a lot of other people have asked about that. Is that 4-wheel drive? I said no, and but that's always a concern. But we have never gotten the machine stuck actually spraying in a field. I kind of have the mentality, I like all my tractors are front wheel assist. I like that. I certainly like that ability. Probably won't own a tractor without front wheel assist, but I can't really say as I've run into a situation that with the sprayer that 4-wheel drive, not having 4-wheel drive or some semblance of that has caused me a problem. We're getting a good value for what we're spending. I think maintenance is certainly simple and relatively easy to do. Again, I'm not real familiar with some of the other John Deere and as far as maintenance, daily maintenance or yearly maintenance on those as I am with these, but it's relatively simple, yes. There have been some issues with the booms, the H-beam or whatever on the booms, that we've had to address. But I don't think any sprayer that gets run through the field is certainly not going to be suspect to things like that. That's just normal routine. Actually, the neighbor that just purchased a machine was talking about that, and he was going to have to find a machine with probably at least 2,000 hours on to get into the same price range. And my experience was machines that a co-op or someone like that has run with 2,000 hours on, there's a reason they're getting rid of it, and you're asking for problems at that point. Currently, there are several Rogator machines in the area, used machines that were purchased by farmers, and they seem to continually have a similar problem. For one, they can't fix them when they have a problem, and most of the time, the Apache has been simple things that if there has been a problem that, the farmer can fix himself without having to have a technician here or being a complicated issue. The last couple of years, dealership-wise, there's been a few changes. Been, at this point, real happy with the new dealership we're working with now. We had an issue and they were willing to stay after hours if we brought it down, and we took it out ourselves. They kind of helped us, tell us what to do. We took it out ourselves and took it down there, and the technician put it together and we came back then that night yet and put it in the next day. So, it was approximately 24 hours, but they were real good about talking us through it and help, putting it together because we didn't get there till after hours, and they stayed around and put it together. When I do come to the point of trading again, I'm sure it will be another Apache, and I will probably look at increasing some of the technology that I have in the cab. Certainly probably look at AccuBoom and try not to overlap and waste chemical, and I think just do a better job of what you're doing when you're out there. Probably tie in more of the GPS system better, I think an improved system over what I'm currently running. We've been running the Apache sprayers in several different models over the past 13 years, and have continued to upgrade as they've upgraded their machines, and at this point probably will continue to do so. But I think they've been pretty proactive in trying to improve the machine, and I know they're trying to, as everything else, the farms are getting bigger and different things. So, like I said, we started out with a 560. That was probably a good sized machine for a farmer at that time. And now, the 850s and the 110s and the whatever are more common for the farmer side of it. And I think they've tried to work with us and make improvements along the way. simplicity of the machine, reliability. I like the direct drive as opposed to the hydrostatic drive. Again, going back to as a comparison to some other machines around, I know they've all had wheel motors go out on those machines, and it's expensive to repair, and they've got to have somebody else come in and do the repairs, and they're higher priced to begin with. So I guess I feel like it's been a good value for what I wanted, and it's been reliable.